to win over the controller of the whole universe, Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu had control over Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni. Yes, all these demigods were the rulers of the universe, and Hiranyakashipu was ruling over them. Everyone used to tremble by just his name. But Prahlad, his own son, 5-year-old son, having such deep faith in the Supreme Lord and his holy name, what he says at the time of intermission. He says, एक नाम से सबकी मुक्ति है, and मुझे बस वो नाम अच्छे से लेना होगा, पूरी श्रद्धा से लेना होगा. That is the essence. What he used to do when the demons used to attack? Immediately used to sit with full focus, with full faith, with full concentration and surrender. He used to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya meaning, do you know that? Do you know? Om. Om जो है is the essence of everything. It includes A, U and Ma. A, Krishna says, is the beginning of everything. A is अक्षर का जो शुरुआत होता है. Krishna says in Gita is me. So A represents Krishna. U represents the energy of Krishna. So that is Krishna and his energy. And Ma means the living entities. जो कि तटस्थ शक्ति है भगवान की. So there are three things in total: Krishna, the Supreme Lord, his potencies, internal and external potency, and the Jivatma, the Tatastha Shakti. So the Om comprises of everything. Okay? So Om Namo means I pay obeisances Bhagavate, the Supreme Lord. Who is the Supreme Lord? Vasudeva. Who is Vasudeva? Krishna. Many people say Krishna came in Dwapar Yuga. Prahlad Maharaj came in Satyuga. He's chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya in Satyuga. So it's not like Krishna came in the Dwapar Yuga. So, take it anyway. So faith, how much is too much? Prahlad Maharaj, on the basis of his faith, was always being protected by the Supreme Lord. So let us see the miracle of faith and the subject matter in detail today. So once what happened, there was a Dr. Frog. Dr. Frog used to live in a well. वो कुएं में रहते थे गांव में. And why he used to be known as Dr. Frog? Because he has done PhD. PhD कर रखा था किस चीज के ऊपर? किस चीज के ऊपर? जिस वेल में so that well के ऊपर इन्होंने well learned PhD कर रखा था. He knew everything about that well. कितना Hare Krishna Advait Prabhu, I'm sorry. It is due to network issue it happened. And therefore, physically coming is the best always. But he's at home. But still he's coming online. That is great. Yeah. दिवाली के समय घर पे होके कोई ऑनलाइन सेशन अटेंड कर ले. Prabhu, please accept my dandavats from here. Yeah. So Dr. Frog was there and devotee frog came from Jagannath Puri. So a person from that village went to Jagannath Puri to take a bath and there was an ocean. There is an ocean in Jagannath Puri. Yes. So there came a frog from there and it went inside the luggage of that person and he somehow came to this village. And as soon as that person opened his luggage, that frog came out and he went to the well. As soon as he went to the well, what happened? He met Dr. Frog. And Dr. Frog greeted him. Oh, my dear friend. Welcome. Please come. Hello. Who are you? He said, I'm Dr. Frog. Oh, Dr. Frog? So, yes. Who are you? He said, I'm Devotee Frog. Devotee Frog? Yes. Why you are known as Dr. Frog? Because I know everything about this well. Why you are known as Devotee Frog? Because I am coming from Jagannath Puri. So I'm taking bath in that ocean. So he said, okay, you are coming from ocean? What is ocean? Ocean is a big reservoir of water. It's a huge quantity of water in that. How big it is? Is it as huge as this well? Oh, my dear friend, this well is nothing in compared to the ocean. Huh? Oh, so maybe it will be twice of this well. दो गुना होगा इसका. अरे दो गुना, I'm telling you, it's huge. You cannot even imagine how much water is there. तो तो पांच गुना होगा, पांच गुना बड़ा होगा. You know, this is lots of water in this well. इसका पांच गुना बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा हो जाएगा. पांच गुना कुछ भी नहीं है. It's nothing. You know, only when you come you'll realize. And then Dr. Frog, being puffed up of his being PhD on that well, he said, I cannot accept there can anything be existing which is bigger than more than 10 times of this well. इससे 10 गुना बड़ा कुछ भी एग्जिस्ट करता हो मैं एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर सकता. Aishwar Bhau, are you able to understand? Yeah. So here, Dr. Frog is rejecting the existence of the ocean. Why? Because of his limited knowledge and because of his pride of having that limited knowledge about the well. That is what also happens when a person comes to the spiritual subject matter of the spiritual life. When we hear about such intriguing subject matter of the soul, spiritual world, a place 3 times more bigger than material world, eternally existing, no birth, no death, no old age, no disease, full of joy, full of knowledge, full of bliss, full of eternity. Is it really there? Usually doubts comes in our mind. क्या हो सकता है? शायद नहीं हुआ तो. But there are devotees coming from that place. The Lord Himself is coming from that place and telling us. So the point is how to have that reasonable faith on this subject matter. And how should we save ourselves in having blind faith? Okay. So this is the subject matter of today, which we are going to discuss quickly and also in detail. Some points I'm going to touch in detail. Do you know Karthik? Karthik used to come in the session. If you know him, maybe. I don't know, he used to come. Karthik, let me call him. I just reminded me he's a regular smoking. Okay, Akilishbu, this is contact number. You can try and ask him that I'm asking him to come if possible. First one, IT25 Karthik के नाम से जो है. ठीक है. So then the point is, which is very important for us to learn here, is to be humble. Krishna says the symptom of knowledge, first two symptoms of a person who is ज्ञानवान, 20 symptoms बताते हैं भगवान 13.8 से लेके 13.12 भगवद गीता 13 chapter 8th verse to 12th verse. Adambitvam, amanitvam, adambitvam. And like that he says Chante Marjavam. And Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. Like that he says, these are all the symptoms of knowledge. So the first two symptoms are humility and pridelessness. See, he's emphasizing it. The first, you should be humble. Learned, one of the Upanishad, it is Kena Upanishad, it says, Avijnanam Vijnanam, Vijnanam Avijnanam. जिसको लगता है मैं जानता हूं वो कुछ नहीं जानता है. एंड जिसको लगता है मैं नहीं जानता हूं, जो ये जानता है कि मैं नहीं जानता हूं, लगता है जो जानता है कि मैं नहीं जानता हूं वो जानता है. He is the person who has knowledge. Yes, so that is the lesson which we can learn from this story. Now, how I can acquire knowledge? कैसे हमको knowledge मिलता है? How many of you have heard about this subject matter जो कि अभी हम यहाँ discuss करने वाले हैं in upcoming few slides? These are the three ways to gain knowledge: Pratyaksha, Anuman, and Shabda. How many of you have heard about this? Only three of you. Okay. So how we can acquire knowledge? These are the three ways to acquire knowledge in our day-to-day life. Yes? Should I talk? Okay, he's coming. Okay, Karthik, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Karthik. Are you coming? You're busy in something today? Achha, okay. So I'll share the recording, try to cover it through that. Okay. And if possible, online सुनते सुनते अगर assignment हो सकता है, if it is possible, then you can try that. Otherwise, cover it up through recording. Okay, sure. Okay, so these are the three ways by which we can gain knowledge: Pratyaksha, Anuman, and Shabda. So these are how do we understand these three ways? First is Pratyaksha Praman. प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण का मतलब क्या होता है? प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण मीन्स जो मैं देखता हूं वो मैं मानता हूं. आई बिलीव व्हाट आई सी, यू नो. बट इज सीइंग इज इक्वल्स टू बिलीविंग? कैन वी बिलीव एवरीथिंग व्हिच वी सी? No. Last session also we have seen so many distorted reflections and refractions like that here due to which phenomena is happening here? Let us test science. Refraction. Yeah, because of which this straw is seeming to be broken, but it is not broken. So what is the difficulty in getting knowledge, perfect knowledge through pratyaksha is this. Just remember this acronym. 4 defects are there. IICC. No? IICC. IICC क्या है? I stands for, first I is imperfect senses. Second I is to be illusion. Third C is commit mistakes, and 4C is cheating propensity. Try to understand this subject matter is very important to understand, because if we have understood this, then we can move for further. Then we can move forward in our progress in spiritual life. We have imperfect senses. How do we have imperfect senses? All of our senses are limited, or you can say defective. आइस का लिमिट है वो 400 से 700 मिली माइक्रोन के बीच में जो चीजें उन्हीं को देख सकते हैं. Can we see UV rays, ultraviolet rays? No. Can we see electromagnetic waves? No. Do they exist? Yes, very much. We are using them. So seeing cannot be equal to believing. There are many things which we cannot see, and there are things which we see, like mirage. We see water दिखता है ना रेगिस्तान में या hot surface पे. Does it exist? No. So like that, our ears are deaf beyond the range of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. इस रेंज के बाहर जाके कुछ सुनाई नहीं देता, you know. टंग का अगर बात करें, if we taste few things one after another, then their taste will change. Like for example, orange after sugar will be like sour, बहुत कड़वा लगेगा, and orange after lemon will be sweet. बट उसका ना तो वो स्वीट है ना वो कड़वा है, वो खट्टा मीठा है. एंड वाटर को अगर गर्मा से टच करते हैं तो ठंडा लगता है, ठंडा से टच करते हैं तो गर्म लगता है. दीज ऑल आर द डिफेक्ट्स इन आवर सेंसेस. सी हियर वी आर एबल टू सी अ व्हाइट ट्रायंगल. Yes, but it does not exist. There are three figures placed in a certain way which are making a white triangle. Similarly, in the cosmos, we may be seeming some entity to be existing because of the other object's presence, and we can completely get bewildered by it. So therefore, our observation can be defective. So this subject matter we discussed in that first course in great detail. I'm just touching it again so that it will be covered for those who have not attended, as well as जो attend कर लिए उनके लिए refresh हो जाएगा concept. In this image we can see so many things are there. Yeah. Old man, old woman, young woman, young man with guitar, bottle, person coming from out of the ear. Similarly यहाँ पे हम old lady and young lady देख सकते हैं. ये cylinders move कर रहे हैं. हाँ, but it is an image. It is an image, but they are seem to be moving. Similarly इस वाले में हम देख सकते हैं ये भी flower petals जैसा लगते हैं move कर रहे हैं, but it is also an image. अभी इस वाले को देखेंगे, ब्लैक सर्कल के ऊपर फोकस करके अगर आगे जाते हैं पीछे आते हैं तो करिए थोड़ा सा डॉट पे फोकस करते हुए. व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? Wheels are moving, yes, but it is an image. They are static. So while observing something, if थोड़ा सा disturbance हो जाए, why we are presenting these things? थोड़ा सा डिस्टर्बेंस हो जाए, अगर डिस्टर्बेंस ना भी हो, कुछ कलर्स अगर अलग तरीके से प्रेजेंट हो, कुछ भी ऑब्जर्वेशन ले सकते हैं। स्टैटिक ऑब्जेक्ट को हम मूविंग कंसिडर कर सकते हैं, मूविंग ऑब्जेक्ट स्टैटिक लग सकता है, जो ऑब्जेक्ट है ही नहीं वो दिख सकता है, जो दिख रहा है वो हो नहीं सकता है। सो मच डिफेक्ट। सो हाउ डू वी बिलीव, इन दिस इमेज ऑल दीज soldiers are of the same height? It's a painting, it's very difficult to believe they are of the same height। अगर इनको स्केल से मेजर करेंगे ना, they are of the same exact height, but just because of these lines they are seeming to be of different heights। So crazy, nahi? And then because of this, because of the tendency to get illusion, these are the things of getting illusion, yes? First we have imperfect senses, then we get illusion. Now what happens? We commit mistakes. In science also we have committed big mistakes। Biology mein, you know, and so many big blunders happened in the past। पहले ब्रेन को कंसिडर करते थे कि वो सिर्फ खून को ठंडा करता है, इज ऑर्गन जस्ट टू कूल द ब्लड। एंड देयर इज अ होल वीडियो ऑन ब्रेन, व्हाट इट नॉट डस, क्या क्या वो नहीं करता, कितने सारे न्यूरॉन्स हैं। अभी तो ब्रेन के ऊपर ही कितना ज्यादा स्टडी हो रहा है, सो इट्स अमेजिंग। एंड डार्विन थ्योरी कम्स द चीटिंग प्रोपेंसिटी। जब गलती हो जाती है तो उसको फिर हम एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते। व्हेन वी कमिट मिस्टेक, देन व्हाट वी डू, वी ट्राई टू चीट। दैट इज आवर प्रोपेंसिटी। डार्विन थ्योरी ऑफ इवोल्यूशन is not a scientific theory, but it is just a theory, because man have never evolved from the apes, according so many other proofs. Archaeological proofs are there, and also the proofs which are being given by the Darwin theory, or the scientists who try to prove Darwin theory, they are being rejected one after another। The link between the apes and the human beings is missing। No one has found it। But once they have suggested, okay, this is the link, connecting link, Piltdown Man करके, they have suggested this link with the name also। 1912 when they have suggested, in 1953 it was found that fraud था। They were just trying to cheat, yes। So then, okay, Pratyaksha is not working. There are so many defects in Pratyaksha. So what we can do? Anuman, we can do guesswork। तुक्का लगाएंगे सर। एंड तुक्का लगाने में तो और बड़ी दिक्कत है, क्योंकि तुक्का कैसे भी लग सकता है। वंस देयर वाज अ पर्सन, वो जा रहा था एक अपार्टमेंट के बाहर से, एंड अंदर से बहुत तेज लड़ने की आवाज आ रही थी, फाइटिंग की आवाज बहुत तेज। मैं तुम्हें मार दूंगी, नहीं रहना तुम्हारे साथ, छोड़ दो मुझे, तुमने मुझसे शादी ही क्यों की, मेरा जीवन बर्बाद कर दिया तुमने, चले जाओ मेरी नजरों के सामने से, हट जाओ नहीं तो मार दूंगा आज तेरे को, ऐसे करके they were really shouting mad, and this person became really anxious। or these people are really, extremely angry, and they may kill each other, huh? And then he was like, what to do, and he was knocking the door, no one was opening the door, and कोई सुन ही नहीं रहा है। And then he went to the पड़ोसी भैया, neighbors, do something, they are fighting, shouting like anything। They're like, these are humble people, they never found to be shout like that, why it is happening? But they are like, nowadays no one can judge what is happening in the world, anytime the relationships can become worse, so they're like, okay, so they're like, what to do? Okay, maybe we should call the police। They called the police। The shouting was, continued, and then it suddenly stopped. So they were anxious what happened, but we don't know। And then they just, like somehow that they opened the door, with a key, not by breaking it, but police have ways to open. They opened the door and they found that there was a TV and a wave series was going on in the TV with high sound, and the owner was sleeping in the bedroom inside, drunk in a state. So yeah, it was his Anuman। So we can guess, but the guess can really go worse। Even the Darwin says that, I speculate, I speculated, and he says without speculation, no original observation can come out. All of those writings we have shared in that session, if you remember, yes, and so many other things about Darwin's theory. So it is a theory of guesswork, and it is not a scientific theory. So it may have been like this, or perhaps it was like this. So ऐसा करने में दिक्कत क्या है, sir? What is the problem? What is the problem with Anuman? Ultimately, we are, correcting ourselves. We are growing with time. We are improving ourselves, isn't it? Please share your insights in this regard.
Life तो probability पे based है ना, like life is based on probability. There might be probability of raining, there might not be probability of raining because all of guesswork है. सब कुछ तो guess पे ही चल रहा है. We probably hypothesis, Schrodinger equation, everything is on guesswork. Whole like entire science is on the framework of guess. और वो सब चल रहा है, किसी की बेसिस पे हम लोग मॉडल्स बना रहे हैं, एआई एंड एप्लीकेशंस हो रही है, तो गैस कहीं ना कहीं तो लग रहा है, तभी तो सब कुछ चल रहा है.
हाँ यस सी प्रो दैट इज नॉट गैस वर्क एग्जैक्टली. जिस पे साइंस का फाउंडेशन बना है, दैट फाउंडेशन इज बेस्ड ऑन दोज प्रिंसिपल्स व्हिच आर बीइंग वेरीफाइड बाय द रिजल्ट्स. Those theories, theory start with the suppose. Let's suppose x is equals to y. Yes. But then at last you need to hence prove now x is equals to y. Until unless it is not proved, that theory cannot be accepted scientific theory.
But we can't prove the quantum theory, but we still have the quantum computers.
No, that discussion we can have. What I am saying that अनुमान प्रमाण में दिक्कत क्या है? What problems it brings?
There might probability कि ये गलत हो सकता. But ये भी तो सकता है कि वो सही ही हो.
But so there's 50-50 chance. गलत भी हो सकता है, सही भी हो सकता है. सही हुआ तो काम बन जाएगा, गलत हुआ तो काम बिगड़ जाएगा, पूरा एफर्ट खराब हो जाएगा. Although in the upcoming sessions it will be coming, but whatever we have did till now on the basis of Anuman, okay, so this is the purpose of life, or this will bring prosperity, peace in the society. Is it bringing the desired result? Okay, so that will come in few slides. So the thing with the Anuman Praman is, when we guess, it can really go wrong. And then we cannot say, I'm sorry, sir. Or you are saying sorry, but there is already so much devastation happened. When Albert Einstein, when the first atomic bomb was being tested, Albert Einstein was like, what we have created. Was thinking to himself, what we have created, what we have given to this world. It's going to bring devastation. In minutes, the whole world can, be just into pieces. That is the power which the human being possess nowadays. Anyway, so that is the Anuman Praman. So, like Darwin's theory says that man came from apes, but even you see millions of years ago, according to the records of the rocks, we see that humans and apes existed simultaneously. Why we are willing to understand this Darwin theory and understand that it is not the right theory of evolution. The soul evolves from one body to another. Because if we don't correct ourselves in this regard, then हमारा जो फाउंडेशन है वो गलत चीज पे बेस्ड रहेगा. अगर हमारा फाउंडेशन ये हमारा हिस्ट्री ये कंसिडर करते हैं कि हम बंदरों से आ रहे हैं, तो बंदरों की तरह जीने में कोई बुराई नहीं है. अगर फिर हम सिर्फ खाना, सोना, लड़ना और ऑपोजिट सेक्स के साथ मजे करने में अगर लाइफ का पर्पस ढूंढ रहे हैं, प्लेजर ढूंढ रहे हैं, कोई बुराई नहीं. So that is also what monkey does, and we are coming from the monkeys. Yes. But if we are not coming from monkeys, and if we are living our life like this, then we are really going with a great speed in the wrong direction. And then we need to correct ourselves. Otherwise, we'll reach the desired goal, but after achieving it, we'll understand it was not the goal. And I was made fool. Yes, that should not happen. And therefore comes into the picture Shabda Praman, the words of the authority. The one who knows can show the way. The one who knows the way can show the way. So the perfect knowledge can be gained through the perfect authority. A person who is perfect, who has created it. Like for example, if I want to know about this device, laptop, Lenovo, this model, how does it work? Microsoft Windows 11, how does it work? I need to just refer to the manual. If I refer to the manual and if I use it, completely fine. I can use it with the best efficiency, isn't it? But if I just don't, refer the manual, and if I try, with that hit and trial method, what will happen? Laptop will suffer, I'll suffer, and only problems will come into the picture. And therefore, Shabda Praman is very, very important. The words of the authority is scriptures. And this we have already discussed. What is the proof of validity of scriptures? क्या proof है? They are written है ना, manual of life. हर एक device के साथ manual आता है. Second is axiomatic truth, and third is predictions. They are there in the Shastra, so that we can have a reasonable faith in the scriptures. We are not here. Why we are having these things? Till now we had faith. Therefore we came here ना. We had faith. हम भगवत गीता में कुछ तो tangible है. हाँ, कुछ तो पते की बात बोली है, कुछ तो ऐसा है जो कि इंटेलेक्चुअल है. Just one second. But these are few things by which we can have little bit more reasonable faith कि हाँ, there are things which are higher science, which is a science, which is just not a theory. Okay. Yes.
तो प्रभु कभी कभी दो अलग अलग स्क्रिप्चर आपस में कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट कर जाते हैं, तो
हाँ.
उसके इसमें क्या करना? लाइक ऐसा विष्णु पुराण हैज अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी अबाउट द ऑरिजिन ऑफ द यूनिवर्स एंड द ऑरिजिन ऑफ द गॉड, एंड शिव पुराण हैज अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी रिगार्डिंग द ऑरिजिन ऑफ द यूनिवर्स एंड द ऑरिजिन ऑफ द गॉड. तो दोनों ही आपस में कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट करते हैं, फिर क्या करना?
Therefore, scriptures ही बताते हैं कि उसको समझने का विधि क्या है. तद विधि परिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदीक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानेन तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, and I think it's verse number I forgot. It says, Krishna says, the vidhi, the process of understanding this spiritual subject matter is to approach a bona fide spiritual master who has seen the truth, who has practiced it throughout the life, who knows he can, resolve everything. You just go there, he says, first pranipath, first surrender, be humble, inquire. Pariprashnena, he says, inquire. That is very important. Inquiry in spiritual life is very, very important. I'll never recommend anyone. You should never practice that, a blind faith spirituality or blind faith religiosity where जो भी हमको बोल दिया गया, कोई ठीक ठाक दिख रहा है, पढ़ा लिखा दिख रहा है, बीटेक किया, एमटेक किया, आईआईटी से निकला है, गीता के बारे में बोल रहा है, तो बस एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए, सुनना चाहिए. वी शुड फर्स्ट वेरीफाई वो बोलने के लिए उनके पास क्वालिफिकेशन है कि नहीं, वो जो बोल रहे हैं वो सही बोल रहे हैं कि नहीं, एंड फिर जो वो बोल रहे हैं वो भी मैं लॉजिकली उसको एक्सेप्ट कर पाऊँ. These all things are very important. So the process is to go to a guru, Panipath, Pariprashna, ask questions, and then when you are satisfied with your query, serve. Krishna says, Sevaya. Because without service, we will not be able to digest this spiritual knowledge. That is very important. खाना खा लिया, बढ़िया बढ़िया पकवान खा लिया आपने लेट से, बट पेट में एसिड रखा हुआ है, क्या होगा? कुछ हेल्प मिलेगा? शरीर को बल आएगा क्या? डू वी फील एनर्जेटिक टू वर्क और टू डू एनीथिंग? Nothing will happen. It is just in the stomach. Similarly, spiritual knowledge will not get manifested in our life. वो हमारे लाइफ के एक्ट्स में नहीं दिखता है जब तक हम सेवा नहीं करते, क्योंकि सेवा से मर्सी मिलती है, मर्सी से वो नॉलेज डाइजेस्ट हो जाता है, नॉलेज डाइजेस्ट होकर वो प्रैक्टिस में आ जाता है. This is the process. So all these contradictions are not contradictions. That is what Prabhupada said. They can be very easily resolved and very easily can be understood as soon as you hear from the authority.
प्रभु वो तो जो गुरु हम प्रिफर करेंगे वो तो आंसर अपने बैकग्राउंड के बेसिस पे देंगे. लाइक इफ ही इज अ वैष्णव तो ही विल रिफर टू द वैष्णव.
No.
If he is a Shaiv, then he will refer to the Shukra.
That is the thing. That is a good question. A Tattvadarshi Guru will never cheat you. He will tell you how to understand it. There is no contradiction. वही वो है ना डॉक्टर फ्रॉग वाला मेंटेलिटी. वो वेल के हिसाब से उसी मेंटेलिटी में देख पाते हैं. हमारे यहाँ पे जैसे हमारा अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्या है, कोई चीज अगर काला है तो सफेद नहीं हो सकता ना. If something is black, it cannot be white. Yes, and something is white, it cannot be black. But there can be things which can be black and at the white anti-white at the same time. How it is possible? Yeah, it is possible. There are so many paradox, you know. They still need to be resolved. So Vedic scriptures, they just don't talk in a very, limited, you can say, this perspective. Vedic scriptures speak about the whole creation, they speak about the manvantars, they speak about the kalpas, and they speak about the total creation, and that too is happening again and again. And these scriptures talk about different manvantar and different kalpas, and then they differ. Same pastime in one manvantar happens in a particular way, same pastime in different manvantar happens in another. Because everything is happening in a cycle, isn't it? दिन है अभी रात हुआ है कल फिर दिन होगा फिर रात होगी फिर दिन होगा आज सैटरडे है कल संडे होगा फिर दिन आगे फिर सैटरडे आएगा यस सिमिलरली द सीजन्स आर आल्सो इन साइकिल द इयर्स आर आल्सो इन साइकिल आर बर्थ डेथ ओल्ड एज एंड डिसीज इज आल्सो इन साइकिल टाइम फ्रेम के वजह से 4 युग अभी कलयुग चल रहा है दैट इज आल्सो इन साइकिल कितना लॉजिकल है वैदिक स्क्रिप्चर्स फॉरगेट अबाउट इट उसको वहां से बंद कर देंगे So Vedic scriptures are very logical, you know. Say abhi Kaliyuga hai, after Kaliyuga what will come? Again Satyuga will come. Again Treta, Dwapar, फिर Kali will come. Everything is in cycle. And in this way, one manvantar will be completed. And then after that, another manvantar will start. Then 14 manvantar, when it happens Brahma's one day. Then again Brahma's next day will start. Yes? Like that. And then Brahma's life will end. Then Mahavishnu will inhale everything. And then again he will exhale. Used to be understood, no? So therefore, there it comes in the picture, the larger picture, the bigger picture. Okay, so abhi actually half of this party hua hai. And actually we started at 7:30 only. So basically Deepavali bhi hai, but I don't always want to, do late. I don't like that. Some of you may not become uncomfortable with the sessions. Pro ye hamesha late ho raha hai. So that should not become the culture. So I want to avoid that. Today only Deepavali is there. अभी आपका मंडे भी छुट्टी है ना? So big holiday is there. So and अभी आधा घंटा ही हुआ है. So I think we can give some time more today. दीपावली मना लेते हैं घर तो जा नहीं रहे ऐसे ही मना लेते हैं भगवान के बारे में सुन के अदृश हो यू आर नॉट हैप्पी No, you are going home? घर वाले आ रहे हैं ना उनके वो बताए मेरे को यस ओके सो नाउ लेट अस गो डीपर इनटू दिस सब्जेक्ट मैटर अब हम चलते हैं फेथ पे अब जो भी मैं बोलने वाला हूँ वो किसी ने भी नहीं सुना है ना एंड स्पिरिचुअल सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऐसा होता है आप जितनी बार सुनेंगे उतनी बार नया नया लगता है उतना ज्यादा डीप हम उसको अंडरस्टैंड कर पाते हैं सो हियर कम्स ब्रह्म विमोहन लीला Dr. Frog is not only the one who is, being proud and being bewildered by hearing about the ocean and of his limited knowledge of well. Here comes Brahmaji into the picture. Brahmaji once visited Dwarka. There are two pastimes. एक तो ये वृंदावन में होता है एक द्वारका में होता है. Today we will discuss about Dwarka pastime. Brahmaji goes to Dwarka and in Dwarka when he visits there was a Dwarpal outside the palace of Krishna. Brahmaji asked this Dwarpal, this guard, that I want to go inside. The guard asked, Sir, who are you? Brahmaji gets a shock of his life. तो पूरे यूनिवर्स में कोई आज तक ये प्रश्न नहीं पूछा मुझसे एक ही पर्सन है जिसके 4 सर हैं जिसके पास सब आते हैं अरे ये मुझसे पूछा बट ठीक है पढ़ा लिखा नहीं है ना गार्ड है ना तो पढ़ा लिखा नहीं है इसलिए पूछा ठीक है ब्रह्मा जी टॉलरेटेड इट सर ओके आई एम ब्रह्मा so he said okay so what do you want I want to meet Krishna so wait here I need to get permission he goes inside he comes back he asks Krishna is asking which Brahma Brahma ji now is even more bewildered more confusion और ज्यादा उनका सर तेजी से घूमने लग जाते चारों सर घूमने लग जाते तो चल क्या रहा है कृष्ण को तो पता है ये सब कुछ ये पूछ रहा है कौन ब्रह्मा वो पूछ रहा है कौन से ब्रह्मा there is only one Brahma in the whole universe there is no other Brahma so why is asking कौन से ब्रह्मा So he said, yes.
Because there are people multiple universes and
Yes,
multiple.
that Krishna, that Brahmaji also forgot for a moment. That is a leela. So then Brahmaji, God, maybe you are making the matter confused. You just remain here. I'm going inside. So he goes inside. He pays obeisances to Krishna, and Krishna, oh, Brahmaji, welcome. How are you? How I can help you? तो प्रभु जी मैं आया तो कुछ और पर्पज से था, बट अभी क्या ना मेरे चारों सर घुमा दिए गए। तो क्यों, क्या हो गया? फर्स्ट योर गॉड आस्क्ड हु आई एम, एंड देन यू आस्क्ड which Brahma I am. So I'm really confused now. And then Krishna just closes his eyes for a moment, and just the whole that palace where Krishna was laying on the couch was filled with Brahmas and Brahmas and Brahmas and Brahmas. One is having 10 heads, one is having 15 heads, one is having 20 heads, one is having 100 heads, one is having 1,000 heads. All these Brahmas of different Brahmas were coming together and paying obeisances to Krishna. Dar, 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 dar. The sound of those helmets was so tumultuous that this Brahma, your four-headed Brahma, was feeling so insignificant, closing his ears and just found himself dumb. And then Krishna asked all the Brahmas, okay, so how is everything is going in your universes? He said, okay, Krishna. He said, okay, so then you can go. So sare ke sare gaye. And this Brahmaji, four-headed Brahma of this universe, understood who I am, how insignificant I am. Yes, just let us try to understand this. If even the Brahma, who is the creator of everything, from whom the knowledge come, from whom the Vedas come, he cannot understand the Supreme Lord and his potencies, who we are to understand it. How much knowledge we possess, how much intelligence we have. Brahmaji's body is made up of Buddhi Tattva. उनके बॉडी में ये सब नहीं है, अर्थ फायर वाटर एयर ईथर माइंड ईगो. इट इज ओनली प्योर इंटेलिजेंस. देयर इज नो अदर ingredient. And that personality, engineer of the whole universe, cannot understand Krishna and his potency. Everything about Krishna can be answered by this word achintya. प्रभु जी ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा. Don't put your head, don't break your head. So there is something which is known as uh, the word is I'm not getting the exact word. It means that something which we are not able to understand or accept right now, we, with the faith we have on the other subject matter, we just give ourselves some time so that Krishna will reveal it in the future. Getting the part? So that is some devotees say it as a black box faith. Some things we need to put in that black box. Okay, it is for the future. I'll understand in the future. For now, these things are making sense for me. Let me practice to this extent. Okay, so now let us come to the reasonable faith. What is reasonable faith? We need to have that. We need not to go into the blind faith. It should be sensible and it should be verifiable. Then it is known as reasonable. Reasonable faith is required, not just required, but essential for living. Just a second. So reasonable faith is essential for our sustenance and essential for our living. Everyone has faith. नास्तिक को भी फेथ होता है उसके फिलोसफी के ऊपर, उनके सिद्धांत के ऊपर, उनके खुद के माइंड के ऊपर, उनके खुद के ईगो के ऊपर. And therefore he cannot accept anything which is against that. But our faith is not the blind faith. There are many things, in our culture which we practice, or many things which we accept blindly. Some things are good, okay, that can be accepted, but for many things are actually, Prabhupada used to say the sign of the intelligent person is he asks questions. We should ask questions. We should raise questions. Like for example, हम सब में से कितने लोग ये फॉलो करते हैं या ये सुने हैं एटलीस्ट, बिल्ली रास्ता काट जाए तो आगे नहीं जाना चाहिए.
What's the logic in it? There's no mention in any scripture. If the cat crosses the street ahead of you, then you should not go far, from that until unless someone other passes, or throw your shoe. लग गया मेरे को. लगा. बचपन में मैंने करा ये. मम्मी ने बोला, बिल्ली रास्ता काट जाए. यू अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी ब्रो? कुछ कुछ वर्ड्स यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. सो मम्मी ने बचपन में बोला, अगर बिल्ली रास्ता काट जाती है तो you should not pass like that. Someone should pass. In the morning, I was going to school alone in the street, 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock से school लगता था हमारा. And I was going and बिल्ली एकदम से रास्ता काट गई. I was waiting. कोई निकल जाए, कोई निकल जाए. There was no one in the street. I was getting late. And if I get late, my class teacher जो होते थे, स्कूल में एक टीचर होते थे ना, अपॉइंटेड एज क्लास टीचर. हमारे स्कूल में ऐसा होता था. She takes care of all the students. So she will definitely chastise me and going to give me punishment. So मैं लेट तो हो नहीं सकता. तो मुझे याद आया माता जी ने बताया था कि अगर कोई लिख ले नहीं तो you can at least throw your shoe. And then I thought, हाँ, that's a good idea. So मैंने क्या करा, अपना shoe lace को लूज करा, and with my leg only I throw my shoe, and that shoe went into the nali. Nali होता है gutter. It went inside. And by the mercy of Krishna, that day I did not go to school at all. वो पहन के तो जा नहीं सकता. तो मैं लेके आया. मम्मी बोली, ए स्कूल ले गया, पीटूंगी करके. आपके वो बिल्ली रास्ता काट गई ना. Therefore I was not able to go. तो सच में बिल्ली रास्ता काट जाती है ना तो बुरा तो होता है. So that is very fine. So anyway, so such kind of myths are there. And even at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there used to be a person of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Veerbhadra. Well, Veerbhadra used to be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all the time. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. And he visited Vrindavan. At that time in Vrindavan, what used to happen, एक खबर फैली बहुत तेजी से that Krishna is coming every night in Yamuna and dancing on the Kaliya. He is giving his darshan. And many people were going at night to the Yamuna and they were saying, oh, there is Krishna dancing on the Kaliya. And what happened, because of these rumors, Veerbhadra Acharya also became convinced. And he also went to see. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was really disgusted. He knew that Krishna is present here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present here himself. And how come there can be another Krishna there doing Leela on Kaliya? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to catch him. And then they saw what was there. There was a man in the boat having a fire lamp. So वो फायर लैंप जब मूव करता था, क्योंकि अंधेरा था, तो वो फायर लैंप कैसा दिखता था, कालिया के सर पे जो मणि है वैसा. एंड वो पर्सन को दे यूज्ड टू कंसीडर एज कृष्णा. And in that boat, they used to consider that, oh, Krishna is dancing in the Kaliya suits. That comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there is a symptom of blind faith. Prabhupada condemned blind faith like anything. We need not to have blind faith. It is really devastating to our spiritual life. Now the question I need to ask, दीपावली क्यों मनाई जाती है? Lord Ram came back to Ayodhya on this occasion. Very beautiful occasion. भगवान वापस आए थे अयोध्या में. सारी अयोध्या को दीपों से जलाया गया, सजाया गया, एंड भगवान को ग्रीट किया गया. वर्शिप किसकी करते हैं दीपावली के दिन? लक्ष्मी जी की और गणेश जी की. व्हाट इज द कनेक्शन बिटवीन द टू? What is the connection? Never ask this question. कभी भी चमकता नहीं है जब तक कोई साधु आके नहीं बताते भैया क्या कर रहे हैं हम लाइफ में. We are celebrating this great occasion because of this Supreme Personality of Godhead coming back to Ayodhya, to invite Him to our hearts, to greet Him to our homes. For that purpose, we are, lighting all of these lamps. But inside our home, we are worshipping Lakshmi ji and Ganesh ji, not chanting the names of Lord Shri Ram, not singing his bhajan, not calling out for his mercy. Why? Because the people are interested in two things. First, Lakshmi, the opulence, money. And second is to get rid of the problems in their life. And Ganesh ji is known as Vignaharta and Lakshmi ji gives money. If these two personalities are satisfied with us, our life will be happy. That is the calculation of the materialistic people. Shastra says they are karmis. Karmis means those who are just focused on their work and the result of their work. And for that to be better, they can do anything. They can worship any lord, they can go to anyone at any occasion. It doesn't matter. Yes. So this is one of the thing which comes under blind faith. A person who is having true faith should ask this question: why we are not chanting the names of Lord Shri Ram? It's a great occasion. We say Ram Rajya. We want Ram Rajya. Prabhupada used to say, we want Ram Rajya, but we don't want Lord Shri Ram. How there can be Ram Rajya without Lord Shri Ram? Yes, that is the dilemma. Now let us understand about having reasonable faith. That was about blind faith. How do we have reasonable faith in the spirituality, in the path going towards Krishna? That is the last subject matter of today we are going to discuss. Faith is a topic of discussion for our last two sessions. Yes. And that too also reasonable faith. Now let us treat faith as an acronym and let us have that faith, true faith, reasonable faith. F stands for futility of godless civilization. What does it mean? अच्छा फ्यूटिलिटी का मीनिंग सर्च करते हैं उसके बाद बताएंगे ओके फ्यूटिलिटी मतलब होता है नश्वर यू नो जो नाश की तरफ जा रहा है द सिविलाइजेशन व्हिच इज गोइंग टुवर्ड्स द डिस्ट्रक्शन तो फ्यूटिलिटी ऑफ गॉडलेस सिविलाइजेशन there are many incidents you see when we take god out of picture whatever we have is worth of nothing practically. Muhammad Ali, we know Muhammad Ali, greatest boxer in the world, used to be. When he was asked after one of this world championship, when he won that world championship, that who is Muhammad Ali? He said, Muhammad Ali is the greatest. Muhammad Ali is the greatest. Greatest मतलब खत्म हो गया ना अभी तो superlative degree लगा दी. And then what happened? Muhammad Ali had a Parkinson disease, because of which, when he was invited into the Olympics to just light the candle and to inaugurate the Olympics, to hold the candle and to pick it up, it required 2 to 3 minutes for him. You know, it was a hard struggle, and his hand was shaking throughout the time because of that disease. And after some time, he was just on the bed, was not able to even stand up. So when that interviewer came again and asked after this Olympic thing, who is Muhammad Ali? He replied, Muhammad Ali is the greatest fool. Greatest fool that I thought I am greatest. Aishwarbu, are you able to concentrate? Yeah. I'm feeling, you are feeling a little bit tired. Therefore you are not able to focus a bit. Try to listen as much as possible. So that is there. Boeing Airlines, how many of us know Boeing Airlines? Boeing Airways. Boeing Airways के owner से once the interviewer asked, what you are thinking in present moment? You know, such kind of questions they ask to this rich people. You know, क्या उनका mentality होता है, क्या सोचते हैं हर एक पल? They are like, you know, earning millions of dollars every moment. So he asked, what is you are thinking this particular moment? And that person replied, in this moment, there is only one thought which has completely occupied my mind and which is not allowing me to think of anything else, is that when I'm going to urinate again, how I'm going to tolerate that pain in this world. Because he was suffering from a urinary disease, and that no doctor in the world was able to cure with all the riches he had in his pocket. Just try to understand, let us try to understand how, you know, this, मतलब कितना ये It's just completely nonsense kind of thing. If we have all of that, but if God is not in the picture, even after having all of that, we cannot utilize it for any good use, for any good purpose. And on the other hand, it can make us even more miserable. You know? Right? So this platform of godless civilization is very shaking, very unstable, and very fearful. Because we don't know what will happen at any moment. There are many, many such examples. I'm not going to the details of it. Here is a book, very beautiful book by David G. Mears. The book is The American Paradox: Spiritual Hunger in the Age of Plenty. Very beautiful book he wrote. In this book, he pointed out one thing. He compared American statistics indicative of overall well-being across nearly half a century from 1960 onwards, and that too also a period that corresponds with high material prosperity. लास्ट 50 साल में 60 साल में अमेरिका सबसे ज्यादा प्रोग्रेसिव रहा है. यस, सबसे ज्यादा मटेरियली प्रॉस्पेरस कंट्री रहा है. अभी पिछले 50-60 साल में क्या हुआ है अमेरिका में, दैट ही हैज वेरी ब्यूटीफुली रिसर्च आउट, थॉरली ही हैज रिसर्च, and his research is this. These were his findings. The divorce rate has doubled. The teen suicide rate has tripled. The recorded violent crime rate has quadrupled. 4 गुना हो गया है. The prison population has quintupled. 5 गुना जेलों में संख्या बढ़ गई है. Babies born, sorry, that is spelling mistake. Babies born to unmarried parent has sextupled. 6 गुना बढ़ गई बिना मैरिड माता पिता को बच्चे होना. And depression has soared to 10 times the pre-World War II level. 10 गुना डिप्रेशन बढ़ चुका है अमेरिका में. With all those theories based on Anuman Praman, which says material prosperity will bring happiness and joy in our life, जो कि इससे billboards, advertisements, web series, movies में दिखाया जाता है, it is not happening in reality. It is just a real life. It is not a real life. Because reality is, the real statistics are completely opposite to what we are watching in the digital media. And therefore we need to open our eyes. Yes. Now A stands for amazing design in the world. Yes. Our faith is not blind. If anything is being created, there is a person who has created it. And the more intricate that design is, the more, attractive that design is, the more the intelligent designer is being glorified, isn't it? हाँ. मैं अभी आ रहा था, मैं देखा रास्ते में कुछ कार्स जो मैंने अभी तक नहीं देखे थे. हाँ, आई वाज रियली बीइंग अट्रैक्टेड बाय दोस. उनका डिजाइन बहुत अच्छा था. बट इट रिमाइंडेड मी टू द ग्लोरी ऑफ कृष्णा. कृष्णा से यद यद विभूति मत सत्वम श्रीमद ऊर्जितमेव तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वम मम तेजो अंश संभवम. Whatever attractive you see in this world is nothing but a spark of my splendor. वो मेरी जो अट्रैक्टिवनेस का जो फायर है ना, उसका सिर्फ एक स्पार्क है, उसकी एक चिंगारी है जो देख के आप अट्रैक्ट हो रहे हैं. Yes. So Krishna has given the intelligence to create that attractive thing, and he made it attractive. Therefore, it is attracting us. Abhi, if we see the design in this world, we see sky में clouds. What they have? Clouds. What they have? Water. They possess water, heavy water. Yes. Where that water comes?
Oceans.
Evaporation of the oceans, water bodies. Now, that is there in the packet, in the sky. What is happening? Every single day, so many airplanes are going through that packet. Trying to, pinch that packet inside out through so many directions. बट स्टिल ऐसा नहीं होता ना. कभी हमने सुना अभी बेमौसम सर्दी चल रही थी, आसमान में बादल था, दिल्ली की फ्लाइट निकली, बारिश हो गई. Does it happen like that? No. Such a nice design. जब बरसना है तब बरसेंगे, जहां बरसना है वहां बरसेंगे. जहां सूखा पड़ना है वहां सूखा पड़ेगा. Such amazing design is there. Now artificial clouds are being created by scientists. You know that? And there's so much difficulty in that. वो केस चला गया सुप्रीम कोर्ट में एक्चुअली. हाँ. क्यों? क्योंकि उनने बादल बनाया अपने कंट्री में, हवा से उड़ के दूसरे के देश में चला गया। सॉरी। ना उसको वापस कैसे लाएंगे? इन्वेस्टमेंट तो हमने किया था। सो दैट इज द लाइक, वो किसका बादल है अभी? ये कोर्ट में केस है अभी, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में। Who will be the proprietor of that cloud and how to bring it back? क्योंकि उनके कंट्री में जाके हमारा बादल वापस लाना है तो कंट्री में जाने का एक्सेस चाहिए ना। हाँ, ऑल दोस थिंग्स, बॉर्डर इश्यूज विल कम इनटू द पिक्चर। यस, सो so many things are there anyway. So when we try to imitate God, crazy things happen in the world. Yes. Second, you see, हमारे यहाँ पे ही बाल है एंड यहाँ पे ही बाल है, एंड यू नो बायोलॉजिकली दोनों के अंदर पिगमेंट सेम है, हर एक चीज सेम है, बट ये एक सर्टेन लेंथ से ज्यादा नहीं बढ़ते। बचपन से लेकर अभी तक ये इतने ही बड़े। मैं तो कभी नहीं गया आईब्रो बनवाने के लिए। एनीवन यू हैव वेंट फॉर दिस कटिंग ऑफ द आईब्रोज? कोई नहीं ना। बट फॉर दिस एवरी मंथ, एवरी 20 days, 15 days वी नीड टू गो। अरे इतना तेजी से बढ़ता है ये कैसे? दिस इज द डिजाइन ऑफ द लॉर्ड। सेम हियर एट डिफरेंट प्लेस, पार्ट्स ऑफ द बॉडी grows in different you know capacity. Yes. Earth, such a gigantic object running with great speed, दो दो मोशंस हो रहे हैं उसमें, बट स्टिल कभी फील ही नहीं होता कि हम एक मूविंग ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर बैठ के ये सेशन अटेंड कर रहे हैं या कोई भी एक्टिविटी कर रहे हैं। Is that, do we feel? कभी फ्रिक्शन महसूस होता है? कभी कोई साउंड सुनाई देता है? कोई भी व्हीकल में जब हम मोशन होता है तो दो चीजें होती हैं, एक तो फ्रिक्शन होता है, कुछ तो साउंड आता है। बट कभी ऐसा हुआ है ना, वी आर फीलिंग और यार लगता है अर्थ तेज चल रही तो प्रभु जी थोड़ा सा फ्रिक्शन लग रहा है, साउंड तेज आ रहा है, कुछ तो दिक्कत। Never happens. And see, the last but not the least, there's so many things we can discuss about. I just taken few. मिट्टी, कोई रस होता है? जिस कितना ही निचोड़ ले कुछ नहीं निकले। कुछ जरा सी मिट्टी मुंह में आ जाए तो जिसमें रस होता है वो भी मजेदार नहीं लगता, है ना, किरकिरी लगता है। मिट्टी, देयर इज नो टेस्ट इन द सैंड, इन द सॉइल। आम का जो गुठली होता है, बीज होता है, there is no rasa, there is no taste in that also. Yes, but and the water is also is not having that, you know, that water is not having also that sweet taste, है ना, of mango juice. But what happens when that water, sand, and this जो mango seed comes together? Don't know who's calling. They comes together. They put in the ground. After few years, comes out a mango tree with hundreds of mangoes in the tree, and every mango is so juicy, so full of rasa, and it is the king of the fruits. Same thing happens with all other fruits, all other vegetables. How miraculously he designed! How miraculously he designed! That when we study, then we can glorify the God in its true glory. And you know, for that purpose, the science has started in the Western countries. Western scientists जो साइंस का फाउंडेशन दिए हैं, दे स्टार्टेड विद द पर्पस दैट व्हेन वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी द क्रिएशन ऑफ द लॉर्ड, देन वी आर गोइंग टू ग्लोरीफाई हिम मोर देन एवर बिफोर। ये लैपटॉप यूज करना एक बात है, बट ये समझना कि इसको बनाया कैसे गया है और ये कैसे फंक्शन कर रहा है इस तरीके से, जब वो जानेंगे तो बिल गेट्स को दंडवत करने का मन होगा ना। भाई क्या लाइन ऑफ कोड्स लिखे हैं, कितना सालों तक बैठ के कैसे सोचा होगा, कैसे इसको बनाया होगा, you know, the one who is a software engineer, he can know the true glory of the one who creates a software. So for that purpose science is started, but in the midway it got diverted. So here comes a very interesting story of Narada Muni, Brahman and a cobbler. But I cannot go just like this, and session is really कुछ बचा तो हुआ है अभी, थोड़ा काफी बचा हुआ है। So what should be the call for action? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So I don't think we should go further. Huh? You also think the same? No, don't say sure and then in the next session Prabhu ji, okay, अभी कुछ काम है मैं नहीं आ पाऊंगा.
So Narad Muni was told this.
And that I'll do, no doubt. वो तो मैं करूंगा इसके बाद ही will end. So ये करके then from here what we'll do, part 3. Yes, we'll do part 3 of this, and that will be a short part followed by a good number of Q&A, and that we may do online if possible. Okay, I'll be at home this weekend, मतलब this till Wednesday. So if possible Wednesday को evening को online कर सकते हैं, सबके लिए easy रहेगा, online आ सकते हैं सब. क्या है, क्विज है क्या? सो यू कैन लेट मी नो अगर क्विज अगर होता है तो. अगर थर्सडे क्विज है तो हम थर्सडे इवनिंग को कर लेंगे. अगर वेनसडे क्विज है तो वेनसडे इवनिंग को कर लेंगे, मतलब क्विज के बाद हो जाएगा. एनीवे यू कैन लेट मी नो, अभी इतना जल्दी नहीं है, बाद में बता सकते हैं ना. ओके, सो लेट अस summarize our today's session, just complete our today's session by this story. So Narad Muni once, yeah, so Narad Muni was once visiting a village. तो वो विलेज में जा रहे थे एंड ही मेट वन ब्राह्मण. कोई ब्राह्मण से मिलते हैं एंड ब्राह्मण से, ओ नारद मुनि, नारद मुनि, हाउ आर यू? I said, I am fine. So he said, oh Narad Muni, you know I know you go to Vaikuntha also, I heard it, you know. So can you ask Narayan there, the Lord Narayan, when I am going to come back to him, you know, after this life will I be allowed to enter his kingdom? Can you ask this to him? He said, okay, I'll definitely ask. And then he goes further, and by the end of the village he finds a cobbler, जूती चप्पल सिलते हैं, and he was sitting under a tree doing his work and was chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जैसे ही उनको नारद मुनि दिखे, इमीडिएटली कूदा वो अपने पेड़ के वहां से और जाके सीधा दंडवत कर दिए नारद मुनि को. And after paying obeisances, he said, Narad Muni, please come. How I can serve you? Like, I don't need any service. He said, but okay, अभी तो मेरे पास कुछ है भी नहीं सर्व करने के लिए. So I'm sorry, I'm not able to serve you. He said, okay, no problem. So, but he said, but can you do one favor to me, Narad Muni? He said, yes. So when you will meet Lord Narayan in the Vaikuntha, can you ask him after how many lifetimes this fallen soul will ever get the shelter of his lotus feet? And will I be able to enter his kingdom someday? Narad Muni said, of course I will ask. And then Narad Muni goes to meet Lord Narayan. And he says, Prabhu, two of your devotee had put this inquiry to me. Please answer this. He said, okay, yeah, fine, Narad. So you go to that Brahmana and tell him, I'm not sure exactly, but it will take many lifetimes for that Brahmana to come to me. Many lifetimes. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate. He says in Gita also. So he repeated the same thing. It will take many lifetimes for that Brahmana to come back to me. But Narad Muni was confused. That Brahmana is waking up early in the morning, doing all these pujas, following 4 regulative principles, chanting your name, doing these things, all of that stuff. But he'll take many lifetimes. Okay. And what about the cobbler? Oh, cobbler will come after this life only. Tell him just after this lifetime he'll come back to me. Narad Muni was like, Prabhu, I'll tell them, but I myself is not confident of this. So can you assure me something? No, you don't be so much confused. When you will tell them this, they may ask you one question that what I was doing when you met me. जब आप मुझसे मिले तब मैं क्या कर रहा था? Just tell them मैं सुई के छेद में से हाथी को निकाल रहा था. Narad Muni was still more bewildered. He said, but yes, now I cannot ask more questions. It would be disrespect to the Lord. I can just go and serve his mission. So he just left the Vaikuntha and he came to the village. Brahman saw Narad Muni. He said, oh, Narad Muni, yes, you came back. He said, yeah, I came back. Have you met Lord Narayan in the Vaikuntha? Yeah, I met. Have you asked my question? Yes, yes, yes. So what he said? Actually, he said, he himself don't know how many lifetimes it will take for you. He said many, many lifetimes it will take for you. Really? Really, you met Lord Narayan? I doubt it. He said, yeah. So what I can do? He said, so just tell me, अच्छा, so what he was doing when you met him? He said, वो सुई के छेद में से हाथी को निकाल रहे थे. As soon as this Brahman heard this, see, fake Narad, see, fake Narad. I know for certain, yes, but bolta Narayan. He never met Lord Narayan. He's just a fake Narad. He just goes to that village and he says, I go to Vaikuntha. That village is known as Vaikuntha for him. Like that, he, just laughed on Narad Muni. I said, okay, he did not care. He's a sadhu. Someone glorifies, someone criticizes. He went ahead. He went in front of cobbler. As soon as he reached, again same thing. He jumped from his place, immediately bowed down. Naradmuni, Naradmuni. First he was singing the holy name. And then he jumped and he bowed down as soon as he saw Naradmuni. And he said, oh Naradmuni, I'm so unfortunate. I have nothing to serve you. What I can do for you? He said, don't worry. I'm very much pleased by your words only. Said, okay. So Naradmuni, have you met Lord Narayan in the Vaikuntha? Said, yes, I met. So, although I'm so insignificant, but have you asked my query to Lord Narayan? Will I ever get shelter of his lotus feet in any life? Narad Muni said, Lord Narayan said, don't worry, you will get shelter after this lifetime only. As soon as he heard it, he said, Hari bol, Jai, Prabhu ki jai ho. As he started jumping in ecstasy. My Lord is so merciful. I am so sinful. I am lowest of all. I have no good qualities, but still He is ready to accept me just after this life. How kind, how merciful He is. He said, hey, you are so ecstatic. You have complete faith that I met the Lord. You have not even asked me what He was doing when I met Him. वो say I don't need it, but if you want to tell, you can tell. I want to know actually कि भगवान क्या कर रहे थे. I want to know about him, so you can tell what he was doing. So then he said, वो सुई के छेद में से ना हाथी को निकाल रहे थे. As soon as he heard it, again he started jumping. Hari bol, my God is so great. My Narayan is so great, amazing. Narayan, you sit for a moment. Sit, fellow, sit for a moment. You are so ecstatic. How you can have such blind faith? Where in the world you have seen that a person can, take an elephant from the hole of a needle? Have you ever seen it? Have you do you have any practical experience of it? What kind of blind faith person you are? I have not studied the scriptures. I have not learned very much. And as you said, yes, I am a blind person having blind faith. But what I can see is वो पीपल के पेड़ के नीचे बैठे थे ना. Yes, that is known as people को English में क्या बोलते हैं? That banyan tree. Banyan tree. He just picked one of the seed of banyan tree, which was lying there. Hundreds of thousands of seeds were there. He just picked one seed of banyan tree. He said, Narad Muni, I can see my Lord can put this gigantic banyan tree with so many branches, with so many fruits and flowers and leaves in this small seed. So cannot he can take an elephant, pass through the whole of the needle? Oh, yes. His faith is not blind. His faith is reasonable. If the Lord can program that seed and can put the gigantic banyan tree in that seed and also fill so and then he can just get so many seeds from that tree. From each seed again so many one tree can come, and again every tree can have hundreds and thousands of seeds. Unbelievable. So we can just pay our humble obeisances to this Supreme Personality of Godhead. I can just pray for His mercy that by His grace only we can someday, one day, will be able to understand Him to some extent. Completely तो भगवान को भगवान भी नहीं जान पाते. That is the glory of the Lord. You know. Yesterday only I read this in Bhagavatam that even the Supreme Lord cannot completely know His own opulence. How it is possible? Because the Supreme is all knowing. If He is all knowing, and He must be knowing His own opulence. But the problem is, His opulences are every moment exponentially, infinitely increasing. As soon as He knows the limit of His opulences, immediately it increases. Then He knows, then it increases. Then He knows, then it increases. And therefore He can never know. How do we know then this subject matter, spiritual subject matter, the glory of the Lord, our true essence, and this process are possible? But yeah, the science is there, spiritual science is there. In the upcoming slides, we'll discuss that, the science of spirituality, and how do we understand that. But for now, with that reasonable faith, what we need to do? What we need to do?
Practice reading.
Practice. What is the practice? Yes. एक practice एक बताइए. First, chanting. Yes, we need to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly, consistently, with faith and devotion. You know, one round है ठीक है, but there should be quality. There should be prayerful mood, and there should be a desire to increase with time gradually. So that is chanting. Second, book reading. Yes. See how to increase our faith, that we are going to discuss in detail, but books are the basis. Faith comes from hearing. In the next session, I'll share the verse from Bhagavad Gita 9.2. Ashraddhan Purusha करके बहुत सुंदर वर्स आता है. एंड देयर कृष्णा हिमसेल्फ डिस्क्राइब्स कि फेथ का कितना इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है डिवोशनल सर्विस में, एंड कैसे फेथ से ही उनको जाना जा सकता है. बट दैट फेथ कम्स फ्रॉम द tangible sources, reasonable sources, that is books. So books are the basis, and then
To try to show the spirituality in our behavior and the day to day.
Sadachar should come, it should manifest in our activities, in our behavior. उनको देख के लगना चाहिए he's a saintly person. पापा से पूछा गया what is the, how do we recognize your devotees? He replied in one line, they will be perfect gentlemen. Simple answer. Perfect. If you find a perfect gentleman in the society, understand they are my followers. So yes.
What are the qualities of perfect gentleman?
That is there in the Shastra. That he is humble, is not proud, he is tolerant, you know. He gives respect to others, and he does not expect any respect for himself. Tranadapi sunichena tarur api sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. If one possesses these four qualities, only then one can chant the holy name of the Lord and can practice spiritual life. Otherwise, it is not possible. First is Tranadapi Sunichena, to be more humble than the grass. Second is to be more tolerant than the tree. Third is to give respect to others. And fourth is to not expect any respect in return. Difficult, but not impossible. वो क्वालिटीज कैसे आते हैं? वो क्वालिटीज को इंडिविजुअली प्रैक्टिस करने से वो क्वालिटीज को पाना असंभव है. If you hear the qualities of the sages Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita, you will close the Gita and you will put it in the shelf. There's a, that's it. Not possible. क्या चल रहा है? Suhrid Sarvabhuta now. He is our ever well-wisher, but this is not something which is practically possible. But when you practice the process, don't worry, everything will come with time. Everything will come. That all we'll discuss, in this slide of transforming potency of spirituality. That will be happening in the part 3. That we'll discuss. Yes.
What was the mistake of that Brahman? He didn't do anything wrong. Like, why is it taking so long for him to work?
Good question. ब्राह्मण का क्या मिस्टेक था?
Faith.
His faith is saying Lord Narayan cannot, how one can take elephant inside from the hole of the needle.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but he said that I have only said that to him. He made a bad thing. He said a negative thing about him. You'll not go instantly. It will take time for you. That's why he's not believing. He's like he's not because he's not believing in God completely. But the cobbler said a good thing. You'll go instantly. Maybe that's the reason he believed that he said a good thing. So that's the
Good.
reason. But if the faith is shaken just by a simple answer, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Brahman is good. Why should we believe that cobbler is bad? I mean good.
See, here the point is not about good or bad, bro. The point is about being humble and faithful. Jesus Christ also said in Bible, humble and meek can only access the kingdom of God. Thanks to that Lord who keeps his kingdom hidden for those who are proud and learned. Proud and learned. पढ़े लिखे और proud.
Right.
उनके लिए कभी रिवील नहीं था. The point is this Brahmana, when he was told that it will take many lifetimes, what was his response? His response, he cannot accept that. Because he is so much proud of his practices. Oh, I am a Brahmana, I'm waking up early in the morning, I'm doing all these rituals. How I cannot enter into the kingdom? Who are you to tell me that I cannot enter into the kingdom? This is a complete disqualification to enter into the kingdom. That was what the Lord wanted to reveal to Narad Muni and to all of us. You know, there is one pastime, let me tell you, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a devotee named the best of my memory, Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta was a devotee of Lord Shri Ram. But what he used to do is, he also used to go and sit in the discourses of Mayavadis. Now I cannot go into the details of who are Mayavadis, but there are people who pose to be spiritualists, who pose to be following the scriptures and quoting from the scriptures, but their understanding is there is no Supreme Lord, ultimately there is only effulgence. And the Supreme Lord is effulgence. And we are also Supreme Lord. हम बस भूल गए कि हम भगवान. That is their conception, which is Mayavad. No, we are not gods. We are not gods, Gods. We are gods with apostrophe S. हम सब भगवान नहीं है, हम सब भगवान के हैं. Getting the point? That is all there in Gita. That will go. So anyway, he was a devotee, but he also used to go and sit in those discourses of Mayavadis, sannyasis. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu se wo milne aaye. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I'll not meet you. I'll not meet you. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to be very strict regarding this. He said in Chaitanya Chaitamrit, Mayavadi bhashya sunle hoile sarvanash. The one who hears the discourses of these Mayavadi people, who says that you are God, I am God, everyone is God. Everything is God. We have forgotten that we are God. If we practice some things, if we follow the scriptures, we chant the holy name, we worship the deity, then we'll realize we are the God, and then we'll become the God. What is this nonsense? That is not there in the scriptures. That is also not the reality. That is also does not make any sense. Because Lord says, I am the controller of the Prakriti. And here I am controlled by the Prakriti. How I can be the Lord? मेरे से 1 number 2 number control नहीं होता. Yes, I'm hungry. I cannot control my hunger. And you are saying I can control the whole universe. I can control the material energy. Anyway, so then Murari Gupta came. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his devotees, I'll not meet Murari Gupta. I'll not meet him. Murari Gupta said, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not meet him. Oh, my life is wasted then. Can you ask him for how long I need to wait to meet him? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, ask him for 1 lakh lifetimes. 1 lakh or 10 lakh, he said. For 10 lakh lifetimes, I'm not going to give him my darshan. After 10 lakh lifetimes, I'll give him my darshan. He was jumping in ecstasy. Murari Gupta was jumping in ecstasy. After just 10 lakh lifetimes, I'll get the darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How? How merciful Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. This is devotee. He did not said, "Oh, I am chanting your holy name. You are not going to give me your darshan. What? I don't care. Who needs your darshan? I'll chant the holy name. I'll go to your dham." This is pride. No. Humility is, oh, I'm completely disqualified. I don't deserve. Yes. So that was the attitude of the cobbler, and that was his deep faith because of that humility on the Supreme Lord, which allowed him to access the spiritual world Vaikuntha. On the other hand, Brahmana performed everything nicely, but still was not humble and therefore was not faithful and suffered. Okay. So
So was Murari Gupta forgiven after that incident?
immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and gave his darshan. Why? After seeing Murari Gupta's attitude, oh, he's so humble, he's so down to earth. That the Lord's becomes the property of such devotees. He's Deen Bandhu. You know, the one who is humble, Krishna becomes his friend. Okay. So I think we should go for Kirtan and then Prasadam, short Kirtan. काफी समय हो गया कीर्तन हमने किया नहीं है. We have Deep also. दामोदर अष्टम सिंह नहीं करेंगे, हरे कृष्णा महामंत्री करेंगे. So अंदर चेक कर सकते हैं. Is there someone inside? Raghav Prabhu also. Hare Krishna, Advait Prabhu will be missing you in Kirtan, lamp offering and Prasadam. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for coming. Would you like to say something?
Back then,
Oh, Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you, Advait Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So I'm ending this meeting here.